You know, Quasimodo predicted all this.
Who did what?
As far as The Sopranos goes, Bobby Bacala was one of the most intelligent mobsters on the show. Now don't get me wrong, he wasn't exactly a genius. He was no Carmine Lupatazzi, he was no Carmine Jr., and he certainly didn't have the smarts of Tony Soprano. He probably wasn't as smart as Junior or Ralphie either, and maybe he wasn't even as sharp as Vito. But Bobby wasn't a complete and total moron either. Bobby was smart. Bobby knew how to play a mean game of checkers. He had a quotations book proving he was familiar with famous old sayings like, "To the victor belongs the spoils." He immediately recognized whenever those Sopranos took things too far. He had a masterful understanding of the Monopoly rules per the instructions, and he was capable of assembling and operating a model train set like nobody's business. Bobby also had mad skills as an outdoorsman, where he was a master at survivalist activities like fishing and tracking and hunting, where he was even skilled in the art of hunting with a bow and arrow to make things more sportsmanlike. He was a self-proclaimed marksman, able to intentionally shoot someone in the fleshy part of the ass. Bobby was also a skilled caregiver and companion, as proven in his time spent with Junior. He was a hell of a driver, and he was knowledgeable as a parent raising his children, even when forced to pop his cherry. When Tony punished him after Bobby kicked his ass, Bobby proved knowledgeable and resourceful. He knew how to approach and tackle the kill in a strategic fashion that allowed him to get away with the murder, even without prior experience. Bobby was a pretty smart guy. But then you have that darn conversation where he inexplicably confused Quasimodo with Nostradamus. What in the hell was that? Then he went on a curious rant about quarterbacks, halfbacks, and hunchbacks. I never pondered that myself, but what are you gonna do? Bobby got confused, which was very strange and something I often wondered about. How the hell did he confuse Quasimodo with Nostradamus? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I finally have the answer. I have indeed cracked the code. We already knew that Tony Soprano was a big fan of old movies in the History Channel. We likewise already learned that Paulie Walnuts laughed hysterically whenever watching Three's Company. On that note, I believe that Bobby Bacala was a big fan of the old 80s sitcom Night Court. We never actually see Bobby watching Night Court, but he must have watched it, and here is the proof.
Nostradamus thinks the world of you kids.
Oh, who's Nostradamus?
That's my real name.
Yeah, I always loved that hunchback.
Curiously, the mother of Nostradamus, Bull Shannon, shared Bobby's confusion. This point was driven home with several references in the episode of Night Court in question. Previously, I had always believed that confusing Quasimodo for Nostradamus was something unique to Bobby Bacala. But lo and behold, Bull's mother was confused about the same damn thing in a 1991 episode of the classic 80s sitcom. That was more than 11 and a half years before Bobby became similarly confused during the Sopranos episode For All Debts, Public and Private. Now, unless I'm mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, there was never any widespread confusion here. Quasimodo was the hunchback of Notre Dame, and Nostradamus was the predictor of future events. Two different things completely. Again, I long believed that this confusion was unique to Bobby, but not so. Hank Shannon's confusion predates his by nearly a dozen years, and there is no question about it. David Chase himself must have been a big fan of Night Court, and he threw that Easter egg out there just waiting to be interpreted all these years later. And me, myself being a dork who frequently has reruns of Night Court and Three's Company playing in the background while I work, I'm the one who cracked the code. You know, Quasimodo predicted all this. Have a wonderful night, everyone. I know you'll all sleep better knowing that Bobby's confusion stemmed from his love of Harry Anderson, John Larroquette, Marky Post, and Richard Mall. Bobby Bacala was indeed a big fan of the classic 80s sitcom Night Court. Here is the proof once again.
You know, Quasimodo predicted all this.
Who did what?
Nostradamus thinks the world of you kids.
Oh, who's Nostradamus?
That's my real name.
Yeah.
Nostradamus. Quasimodo's the hunchback of Notre Dame.
All right. Nostradamus.
Nostradamus and Notre Dame. It's two different things completely.
I always loved that hunchback.
Wait a minute, wasn't that... Don't.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. You also got your quarterback and your halfback of Notre Dame.
When's a fucking cathedral?
Obviously, I know. I'm just saying.
I want you to meet my son, Nostradamus.
Named you after the hunchback, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
It's interesting, the coincidence. What? You gonna tell me you never pondered that? The back thing with Notre Dame?
No,